Hello, my name's Chris. Welcome to the tasting room. I'm trying to open this wine. I've had a bit of a shocker. Oh, finally, that feels good. The corks come out in 4 pieces. Not an auspicious start. But this is a highly auspicious wine. I mentioned it in the other video when we were down in the cellar. The famous name Alain Voge from Cornas. And he's been there, or his family have been there for 4 generations, farming the land with fruit and other produce, and then moving into wine. I think his great-grandfather moved into wine. Sadly, Alain Voge passed away, age 81, earlier this year in the early autumn. And it's a wine that I had in the cellar, but it was a great opportunity to really stock it up, given the sad passing means that wines created by him will be no more. So it is, of course, the Cornas 2011 Vieilles Vignes. So the old vines, and indeed they are, on average 60 years old, the vines of this wine. Now, there's a few things to say. First of all, I bought this a few years ago, well, obviously 2011, in a case of 6, and I didn't know that much about it. And I think I confused Vieilles Vignes with sort of village wine, so I sort of plowed through them without really realizing what I had in my hands, but absolutely loved them, and I think they've become possibly my favorite Rhone. The other interesting thing to say is that a few friends and I have been doing a Froty, F-R-O-T-Y, finest red of the year, and we've settled on our top 3, but here we are on the 29th of December. There's still 3 days to go. Now, what I've realized is, whilst this has the potential to be a finest red of the year, all of my other favorite wines this year have really been partly, or let's say mostly, about the wine, but a big part of it has been the experience. They've been at huge birthday party celebrations or lovely intimate dinner parties where there's been a few close friends together, and really the occasion and the company have made the wines finest of the year. So I'm not going to be sad if this doesn't turn out to make the top 3, because I'm just going to enjoy it here at home, probably drink all of it myself over the next couple of days. But I think the potential is there in the right occasion for this wine and the wines of Alain Voge to be absolutely spectacular. And I would urge you to look out for them in the En Primeur coming up in the spring. And that'll be the 2020 En Primeur, which I suppose, I'm not sure if Alain was involved in this vintage, but it's definitely one to look out for. I've only just uncorked it, so obviously it's still a bit tightly packed. But you can see there, beautiful ruby, blood red almost. Slight turning, but not too much. Very big legs, which sometimes suggests a highly alcoholic wine. But as I expected, that's not too bad. That's 13.5%. So that's the sweet spot. I wonder what his wines of this year, or 2018-19, whether they were also 13.5, or whether they've gone up, as has tended to happen with the increasing sunshine we're seeing in Europe. Sorry, maybe a bit boring watching me swill wine. That is a big wine. I think there's tannin, there's fruit, there's acidity, not big alcohol actually. Wow, I'm just surprised by how full that is in your mouth. It really is quite lacquered. I think it's the tannins just coating your mouth, really, not drying your mouth, but really filling it. Fantastic. I think what I would say about this wine is I need to decant it now. I need to let it open up and let it breathe, and maybe come back to it in a couple of hours once it's had a chance to find itself out of the bottle. So maybe we'll do that. In the meantime, just to say one more thing, you may have noticed this beside, and this is the Wine Society's Champagne Demi-Sec. Demi-Sec means slightly sweet, so it's the opposite of brut, really. It's got much more sweetness, and I think often more flavour. This is a wine I'm very familiar with. My wife and I used to buy the half bottles of Paul Roger until they stopped making them, the Demi-Sec, probably 15 years ago, I think, or thereabouts. And we used to love a half bottle of that because we quite enjoyed the sweeter taste. I find Brut could be a bit tasteless sometimes. It's got great texture, great mouthfeel, and it's such a sense of occasion, but lacking an actual taste, which I think is really important for wine. So I stick with the demi-sec, not exclusively, of course, but I always go back to it. And the Wine Society's own brand wines are, of course, all Alfred Gratienne wines, one of the famous old champagne houses for hundreds of years. And I can highly recommend them. Good value for money. But anyway, we'll report back in a couple of hours once this Cornas has had some time to breathe. Hi. Now, it's been probably 90 minutes since I opened up that Alain Voge. Fortunately, I've lost my able assistant, so hopefully the camera position works okay. And what's immediately noticeable is that the aroma, the smell, has opened up from basically nothing when the bottle opened into something huge and fabulous. It's really not raisiny, but it's very savoury and very well developed fruits. No greenness there. Really full cooked smell. It really is capturing the sunshine. I can't remember 2011 whether that was a hot year or not, but really it smells like it's captured all of that. And I think I said when it opened it was just all mouth, all tannin, all lacquered. Obviously it's not. It's settled down. And interestingly, whereas the nose was, if anything, tending towards that kind of cooked fruit, it's very well balanced taste in the mouth, because you still get that. You still get a little bit of stewed fruit, but then running through the middle of it is something lean, something a bit more green, and it really does provide a tremendous balance. Yeah, cooked up front, then that leanness. I think this is a wine that probably would do well with food, that would probably be enhanced by food and would enhance food. It's a fantastic wine. 2011, 9 years old. I mean, probably too young. Sadly, I think I've only one bottle left, but could run another 5 years, no problem. And just looking on the website, it's designed to run for 20 years lifespan. At a minimum, so I'm only drinking it sort of halfway through that. I think if anything that needs more time. If anything, it would be enhanced by pairing it with something. I'm not sure what, whether it's some sort of a stew or a meat dish or maybe even some hors d'oeuvres. But it's fabulous. It's clearly a hugely refined, well constructed wine from someone that has been doing it as long as he had been. It's an absolute joy to drink, really. And I think Côte Rôtie is beside Cornas in Rhône, and I think Côte Rôtie is the more refined and the more serious and the more long-lived and the earlier and the more established sort of part of the Rhône. Cornas, by contrast, a little bit village, a little bit rustic, a little bit for the locals to drink, not really something to export. By contrast to the Côte Rôtie and of course the other Hermitage and the other parts of the Rhône. But I think that the biggest compliment you can pay to this wine is really that this transcends Cornas and lifts Cornas up to that level of the other more famous, more aristocratic parts of the Rhône. Really is delicious. As I said, I've got most years from 2011 until now. I'd encourage you all, Wine Society en primeur, I'm sure BBR en primeur as well. I encourage you all to look out for it, because this isn't, the earth. This is 60-70 pounds a bottle, so absolutely not cheap, absolutely not everyday drinking, but nor is it out of our league. You can really invest in this and it'll pay you back in spades. So I hope you enjoyed that, and look forward to doing a tasting again with you soon.